Hi, my name is Lisa and this is my husband, Paul. I'm really excited to share with you a favorite recipe of ours from my cookbook, Losing It with Lisa, Sugar-Free and Loving It. And I'm really excited that this cookbook will be available to you in cooking. The one recipe that we're going to be doing today is one of my kids' favorites. I'm going to give you a quick little picture here. It's this one right here. Chocolate peanut butter oatmeal bars. It's a long title for basically a really easy granola bar. Paul is going to be my assistant here. He's going to help me by announcing the ingredients that are going to be going into the recipe. This is very simple. The one change that I'm making this time as I'm making this recipe is in the recipe book, the recipe instructions call for putting all of the ingredients together and cooking it in a pot on the stovetop. Today, we're going to twist it just a little bit so that you can see that there's an alternative if you don't feel like using your stovetop. You can do this very easily in the microwave. So we're going to be using a microwave-safe glass bowl, and we're going to mix the ingredients in the bowl, and then we'll put it in the microwave, and we'll bring you along step by step.
Let's get cooking.
Okay.
Okay. First thing you need is 2 cups of oatmeal.
So this is just old-fashioned oats. You can use quick oats if you want. Old-fashioned is what I have in my house, so these are what I use. They're going in the microwave-safe bowl.
Half cup honey.
This is our half cup of honey. My honey was a bit hard when I pulled it out of my pantry, so I went ahead and melted it a little bit.
Thought your honey was a bit soft.
Your honey is you. I mean, my honey is you.
That's right.
Oh, there we go. He was looking for a compliment,
Absolutely.
so he got it. Okay, that was our half cup of honey.
You need a 1/4 cup butter.
So here's our 1/4 cup butter. Now in my recipe, I do make a little disclaimer at the bottom. Sometimes if you overestimate and put in a little too much oats or underestimate and put in a little too little honey or too little butter, you might find that the consistency of these oatmeal bars gets a bit dry. If that's the case, you can always increase the honey by about a tablespoon. You don't usually have to increase the butter. I opt not to usually because it's just extra fats, but that's an option. Next, I have about a half a cup, it's about 1/3 to a half a cup of ground almonds. This is not in the recipe in my book, but one of the reasons why I'm going to add them in today is because I'm a firm believer that whenever you can add extra healthy calories and healthy fats, it's a good thing. I have 2 boys and a daughter, but my boys specifically do not eat a ton if they're out playing. They sort of forget. I don't know how they do that, but they do. So my feeling is when they do eat, if I could pack a lot of goodness into what they're eating, all the better. Then I won't have to worry so much about when it is that they're going to be eating next. One of the things I love about this recipe is that there is no refined sugar. None of my recipes in my cookbook, Losing It with Lisa, Sugar-Free and Loving It, have sugar. They're all sugar-free. We do not use any refined sugar, but we use things like honey or agave nectar, also coconut sugar. These ingredients, you don't have to stir it actually. These ingredients are all whole foods and they're all lower in glycemic index, high in complex carbohydrates, and just a healthier treat all around. I'm a firm believer in letting my kids eat treats. I'm just not a firm believer in letting them eat the junk that they can buy at the store. We're going to take all of this whole bowl, all of the ingredients mixed together. We're now going to put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. That will allow the butter and the honey and the oats and the almonds to all melt together, and we'll mix it up after the 2 minutes, see what it looks like. So we just took the bowl out of the microwave. It was in there for 2 minutes.
I like your hand on my back.
Thank you. Do you want me to rub it too? We just took it out of the microwave. It was in there for 2 minutes. It's blending really nicely. Things are melted, but we actually want it to get to the boiling point in the microwave. So Paul's going to put it back in the microwave after this quick stir, and we're going to let it go for about another 1.5 to 2 minutes. In your microwave, all microwaves are a little bit different. You're going to watch to make sure that it gets to the boiling point. If it doesn't get to the boiling point within 2 minutes, take it out of the microwave, mix it again, and then put it back in again for another minute or so. Just keep on watching it as it's going. So you can go ahead and put it back in the microwave.
For 1 minute?
Yeah, a minute or so, maybe even a minute and a half.
It's all melted, Lee.
Yeah, the oats need to cook. These are old-fashioned oats. It might go a little bit quicker if you're using quick oats because they've been processed a little bit quicker and they are ready a little quicker. That's why they're called quick oats. Old-fashioned oats take a little bit longer to cook, so we're just going to kind of watch it and see.
Okay.
Okay. So we just took this out of the microwave. It had been in for another 2 minutes, and it got to the point where the oats and the butter and the honey started to boil. Usually a good indication right there that they're ready. You don't want to overcook this either. So, usually anywhere between 4 minutes and 5 minutes in the microwave if you choose to use the microwave. If you were doing the stovetop, the way it's explained in the recipe book, you would just boil everything in your pan until things were boiling and well blended. Now that this is well blended, we're going to put it on the bottom of an 8x8 pan. Once it's in the bottom of that pan, you just press it down firmly so that it hits all of the edges of the pan. This is one of these recipes where you can really add more if you wanted to. As I explained to you before, I'm a firm believer in if you can put in more, nuts or grains of your choice, you can feel free to do that. The only problem is when you're adding more dry things, you might have to compensate by adding a little extra wet things. So we hit it, I think, just right. I added that 1/3 cup of ground up almonds, and I threw that in, and it doesn't look too dry. It looks like it'll cut up just fine. We need a top on this. We're going to put a topping, and there's 2 ingredients that we're going to need for the top. We have a 1/4 cup of peanut butter and a 1/2 cup of grain sweetened chocolate chips. Paul just put those in the microwave. Grain sweetened chocolate chips are chocolate chips that have been sweetened with corn and barley. So there's no refined sugar in these chocolate chips. I buy mine at my local health food store, and I'm sure you could probably buy yours at a local health food store too. They tend to be a little bit more pricey than regular chocolate chips, but to me, it's worth the extra couple of dollars or whatever. I really try as much as possible to take all refined sugar out of my children's diets. They are getting some here and there for sure, but when it comes to everyday things, to me, this is going to be like a homemade granola bar, which is so much better than the store-bought granola bars at the store, which are filled with sugar, not enough protein, way too many simple carbohydrates. This is going to be a little bit more wholesome for them, and I don't have to feel guilty if they choose to eat a big piece of this and not all of their lunch. We're going to melt the chocolate chips a little bit longer. I usually just melt mine in the microwave in a microwave-safe bowl, usually anywhere between 30 and 50 seconds. We do stir them in between just to make sure that they're not burning and that the heat gets dispersed. We're going to then, when we're ready, take them out of the microwave, put them into the peanut butter, and we're going to mix it so that it makes a nice peanut butter chocolatey topping to go over the oats. Helper, would you like to go and see if they're ready? You don't let them cook too long. Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch out, they're hot.
Hot. Okay, so we take them out of the microwave when they're about like this, and then we just start to stir. I don't like to burn my chocolate chips. They do have an awful flavor when you burn them in the microwave. So I would prefer taking them out when they're just on the verge of melting, and then I mix them around myself and get that heat dispersed, and then they melt quite nicely.
They're very hot, like you.
Oh my gosh, stop it. This is going to be added into the peanut butter right here. This right here is this treat right here is a delectable combo.
We could just stop right there
and lick the spoon.
That.
I know, it's really good. So we're just going to mix the peanut butter and the chocolate together. The topping does not have to be peanut butter and chocolate. You can use another form of nut butter if you'd like. We've done it before with almond butter. We've done it with cashew butter. It's your preference really, but my kids tend to be peanut butter fans, so we just stick with the easiest. Once it's nice and liquidy and smooth, we then pour this topping over the oats, and then we'll spread that around to give it a good smooth finish on the top. I think I probably went a little bit, I think I went generous on the chocolate chips and the peanut butter here. Maybe not.
That's
but
okay.
you don't care.
We don't care. Chocolate is always
a good treat.
Always a great treat.
Yeah.
You
Sometimes
can never have enough of chocolate.
Well, you actually can, but it's okay. This is gonna. I sometimes like to go a little bit thinner on the top so my kids don't get quite as much, but they'll be really excited when they see this batch. You could put as much or as little on the top. If you're not a chocolate fan, these bars actually taste great without any topping on at all. But as we were just discussing 2 minutes ago, anything with chocolate is delicious. So this chocolate peanut butter oatmeal bar recipe, you set in the fridge. So once it's all covered and everything is completed, you then put it in the fridge. You can cover it with a airtight seal, and it sits in the fridge. It probably takes 2 to 3 hours to set so that the chocolate is all firm. Easiest to cut when you take it out of the fridge and let it sit for a good 15 minutes first. But either way, whether it's hard to cut or not, these are a very tasty treat, and I hope you enjoy them as much as we do.
Great job.
Do you want to lick?
Absolutely.
I thought you would. So after a couple of hours in the fridge, they're cooled and they're set. The chocolate on top is hard, so it was easy to cut. And Paul is really eager to eat one, I'm pretty sure.
I'm salivating.
I just wanted to share with you an idea that I do that works for me in my home, and maybe it'll work for you in your home. But I always have a pan of these or some other form of treat ready and wrapped individually in the fridge so that when my kids get up in the morning, they can put one of these in their lunch bags as an extra treat. And I know that they're always going to have something fun to eat in their lunch bag. But we always try to have them wrapped up and ready to go so that there's always something fun for them to eat.
These are great also as well. You can have them during the day. You can have them midday, mid-morning as a treat, as a healthy treat, a healthy alternative. That's one of the things that I'll have during the day, about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I just eat one of these, and it's a healthy alternative. As all my other colleagues are downing donuts or brownies and gaining the calories, the empty calories, I have things that are dense with calories and are great.
Another idea that I'll share with you, and if it works for you, I'd be really happy. When we take our kids out for bike rides or hikes or whatever, we'll often put things like this in our bag so that when they get hungry, we can pull out a homemade, healthy, whole foods treat where we know what the ingredients are and we know what they're getting, as opposed to something from the store filled with preservatives.
They're a great source of energy as well. You've got nothing but positive energy in here.
Yeah, we have complex carbohydrates in the oats. Of course, I did add, in this recipe, I added the ground up almonds, so that's good protein and good fats. There's the peanut butter, which is another source of protein and good fats. Of course, there's the chocolate, which we already discussed was just good anyway. And it ends up being a treat that stays with you as opposed to leaving you feeling hungry and needing more. It's very satisfying.
Well, I think we should satisfy ourselves right now.
I think so too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pretty good, huh?
Oh, darn good.
It's pretty good.
That's really good. It's better than good.